Fall's like my favorite time of year, though. The fall colors are beautiful. I will say it is better definitely in Ottawa and in the Valley area where they have the deep reds and the bright oranges and the yellows. They're stunning.
Yep.
Vancouver has so many of the reds, which I got to see last week. But Winnipeg with the bright oranges and the yellows and just that cusp on the edge of them all falling off the tree, it's beautiful. It's really
we have the Manitoba maples here, which don't quite go red. We get a lot of the yellows. We get every shade of yellow and brown and in the backdrop of the wonderful evergreen. But, yeah, we don't get a lot of the reds. The East Coast gets those beautiful, beautiful reds, like down through Cape Cod and all those areas. Man, it's like a postcard everywhere you turn.
It's stunning. Pumpkin spice season 2.
Absolutely.
It's the best time of year.
And that oat latte that I had, good. Good coffee season. Yep. It's time to start wearing plaid and browns and greens. And you actually, your girl was complimenting me on my autumn choices for my wardrobe. Mm-hmm.
The comment section. Somebody left a comment the other day. I actually got a couple messages on Instagram because our clip's been popping so much. Somebody said, I will watch every show every single Sunday if Dave stops dressing like my geography teacher.
Okay, listen.
I like the fit, by the way, in the Brian Johnson hat. I like it.
Well, this hat, I mean, as far as people call it the Che Guevara, I've been, he wears more of a po' boy hat. But, I'm a hat aficionado from a long time ago. But as far as my wardrobe, I give my wife a lot of credit. It was probably about a year or so ago. She said, listen, you're in your mid-40s. You can't walk around like you just walked out of a locker room anymore. Like, you got to start dressing a little more age-appropriate. And I went, yeah, you're right. There was no argument. There was like, oh. It was like, yeah, you're right. I got to start dressing a little more appropriate to my age. And so started breaking out more of the collared shirts, started breaking out more of the blazers and whatnot. But in the summertime, it's too hot out for a blazer, and so a vest works well. So I don't know. I like the style. I don't care what you think. My wife thinks I look sexy, and that's really who I'm trying to impress.
Do you think I dress age appropriate?
I think your style has definitely evolved since we started doing this podcast, and my wife was actually complimenting you on your sweater that you wore last week. And yes, you're much more clean cut. And, you're looking much more age-appropriate in your late 20s. Looks good, man.
Yeah, it couldn't have gotten much worse when we started. I literally remember with the mullet coming down, which, not a good look. I'm not a big fan of the mullet look anymore, obviously because it's gone. But the athleisure, the baggy...
The athleisure, that's an actual term? I like that.
It's like athletic wear, but it's a little bit classier, but it's still athletic wear. Or like the Mississippi Seawolf sweater I have would be athleisure because it's more classy sweater, but it's also like athletic wear at the same time.
For those that don't know, by the way, in Manitoba Social, this is actually quite a very esoteric thing. My parents didn't understand it when I explained it to them, but before you get married, you throw a huge party at a community hall, you get people to pay to go in, and then there's a whole bunch of auction items like Rainbow Auction where you drop little tickets in, and there's everything from trips to jerseys to hardware tools to movie passes to baked goods to lottery tickets, and that's how you raise money for your wedding. And the government, up until this point, has been kind of turning a blind eye on the income that you use because it's directly being used inside the community and it's going towards your wedding. So it's a very, I know different areas call it a Jack and Jill, but it's very different here in Manitoba. And it's funny because you might not make the cut to get the invite to the wedding, but you're getting invited to the social, and then there's support tickets, and it's a great little racket that only happens here in Manitoba, and I love it. I think it's great.
My favorite thing about the social is when they have like the cold cut meats and they put a piece of salami on your shoulder.
That is a great game. So in those socials, there's the midnight tray that comes out, and it's just a mess of cold cuts, and it's deli and cheeses and olives, and it's wonderful. And yeah, you go around and you drop a piece of meat on somebody's shoulder. You meat shoulder them and see how long they go without noticing. It's fantastic.
Must be a James Woods and Family Guy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. You're welcome for enjoying this clip, and you're welcome to click on more of them right here. There's lots of content available, new podcast every Sunday. Sign up for the Patreon page as well because that gets you what? Perks. That's it.